Max Verstappen to Mercedes? It's not just a rumor anymore. According to Sky Sports Italia, the talks are real, and the only thing standing in the way is a split in the Mercedes boardroom. Imagine that, the most dominant driver in modern Formula One, swapping the Red Bull garage for silver, and the sport hasn't even begun to process the shockwaves yet. But this isn't just speculation. This is a potential reshaping of the entire Formula One grid, commercially, competitively, and emotionally. Let's break down what's really going on. Sky Sports Italia reported that proper discussions have taken place between Toto Wolff, the Mercedes team principal, and Max Verstappen's management. These aren't just informal chats. These are real, structured negotiations that imply intent on both sides. Their report suggests that Verstappen is actively exploring a move to Mercedes, potentially as early as next season. They even claim that outlines of a deal have been discussed. And while no official offer is on the table yet, the only real obstacle is a divided Mercedes board. Some senior figures are eager to bring Max in. Others remain cautious about the long-term cost and disruption. But then came the counterpunch from Sky Sports UK and Autoport. Almost immediately, they worked to put out the fire. They stated that there's no formal proposal, no signed documents, no decisive signals from Max. But here's the twist. Even in their denial, they confirmed conversations are happening. That's the part most are missing. The real question isn't whether Mercedes has reached out. They have. It's whether Max Verstappen is genuinely ready to consider walking away from Red Bull. And signs suggest, yes, he is. For over a year, Verstappen has repeated the same phrase like a mantra. I have a contract with Red Bull until 2028. But in Austria, when asked again about his future, he didn't use that line. This time he said, I control my own future. That's not just a semantic shift, that's a message, a subtle one but powerful. Insiders now believe Verstappen is playing a high-stakes leverage game. Red Bull's internal politics, from the Horner-Marko feud to the exit of Adrian Newey and looming Honda uncertainties, have destabilized what used to be the most consistent outfit in F1. Max wants to know Red Bull can continue delivering dominance, not drama. If they can't, he wants an exit route. And then there's the infamous clause in his contract, the rumored escape hatch. It allegedly states that if Verstappen is fourth or worse in the championship by the summer break, he can walk. It's not automatic. He has to trigger it, but it exists. We're now just weeks away from the summer break. Beyond the paddock whispers, marketing insiders have confirmed that Verstappen's team is quietly assessing the sponsorship potential of a move to Mercedes. Pairing Max Verstappen with the Mercedes brand, already one of the most iconic names in motorsport, could unlock marketing deals never seen before in the sport. Inside Mercedes, sources say a dedicated team is already modeling scenarios for Verstappen's arrival. From technical integration to branding strategies to internal restructuring, they're preparing as if it could happen. That level of preparation doesn't happen unless something is in motion. Now layer this with another plotline. Mercedes is in a delicate negotiation phase with George Russell. Russell wants a multi-year deal. Mercedes, however, is offering a short-term extension, reportedly a 1+1 deal. Now, suddenly, stories surface that Max Verstappen is on the radar. Coincidence or strategy? Russell was asked point-blank whether he had been told Verstappen could replace him. His response, "We've had open and honest conversations with Toto, but he refused to elaborate." That's not a denial. That's careful messaging. And then there's the ghost of 2014. Toto Wolff once had the chance to sign Verstappen to Mercedes' junior program. He passed. Red Bull didn't. They took the risk. They nurtured the talent. They made him world champion. Wolff has never truly gotten over that miss. Now, with Mercedes poised to unleash what many believe will be the best engine package for the 2026 regulation overhaul, there's a window. Their simulations show promise. Their factory is humming. Their budget is stable. All that's missing is a top-tier, generational driver. Enter Verstappen. Imagine Verstappen mentoring Andrea Kimi Antonelli in 2026. A generational pairing, one driver at the peak of his powers, the other a rising prodigy. But it won't come cheap. Verstappen's salary, plus a potential Red Bull buyout clause, could make this the most expensive contract in Mercedes history. And Max won't jump ship for sentimentality. He wants results. He wants another dynasty. That's why every word out of his mouth is now dissected. Every pause. Every omission. When asked if he'd stay with Red Bull, he said, "It depends what happens." That's not loyalty, that's leverage. Meanwhile, Red Bull isn't hiding its nerves. Helmut Marko recently said, "I believe Max will stay." But then added, "In Formula One, you never know." Again, hope, not certainty. This weekend, Verstappen's body language at Silverstone will say more than any press release. If he avoids reaffirming commitment, the story will accelerate. And if Mercedes publicly denies talks, it might be nothing more than a smokescreen. Remember, releasing a rumor like this right before a major home race weekend, like Silverstone, is never an accident. It destabilizes Red Bull, it rattles George Russell, and it puts Mercedes in the driver's seat, whether a deal happens or not. Even if this negotiation doesn't bear fruit, just being associated with Verstappen gives Mercedes enormous leverage with sponsors, fans, and other drivers. In Formula One, perception often becomes reality. And right now, the perception is that Max Verstappen is not as locked into Red Bull as everyone believed. So what's next? Is this truly a monumental driver shift in the making, or the most sophisticated power play Formula One has ever seen? Toto Wolff has been quiet. Too quiet. Red Bull is tense. Verstappen? Calm, focused, but measured. He knows what he's doing. He's setting the stage. If Red Bull stumbles even slightly in the next two races, and if Mercedes continues gaining momentum, the pressure will become unbearable. And then, maybe, Max makes the call. Until then, the entire paddock will remain frozen, because when Verstappen moves, the grid trembles. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss a twist in this unfolding F1 drama. And let us know in the comments, is Verstappen really preparing to trade Red Bull for silver? Or is this just the most brilliant bluff in modern F1 history? Until next time, this is F1 Untold Story.